And here we are again, together again in the studio that's hot, really, really hot. Hey, Imdulg is here. Noel Shear 87 has joined us. Thank you for joining us. Noel, you seem new. Let's check you out. You're extremely happy. That is a great profile. See, because everybody's going to want to know your secret. It looks like you're new. It looks like you're fairly new to Periscope. So welcome. I'm glad that you have taken the time to join us here. My little tripod's giving us a problem. Haha, hi Bob, hi M-Dog. What's the M for? Let me just check again, because Melanie. Maybe if I can just remember Melanie. I'd much prefer to call everybody by their first names, you know? So, hey, let me turn around here. Bob Doyle wearing the hat. Actually, this is a different hat today. Switching it up. You know, the other hat says life is good, and I would be wearing it except for the fact that I don't know where it is. No clue. I lose it all the time. It's the one hat that fits me around here, and I can't keep up with it. You'd think I could just set up some place for it. You joined after reading the website. Oh, which website? I have a few. Having a bad day, so maybe you can cheer me up. Melanie, I will do my very best. I'm now going to take personal responsibility for your emotional state for the rest of the day. So forget this voiceover scope. Forget everything else. I'm going to tear up my to-do list. We got to take care of Melanie, guys. Wealth beyond reason. And so you found me here. Well, maybe, because I've been doing a lot of website changing around. Thank you for the hearts there. I've been doing a lot of changing around. So I just recently re-released the boundlessliving.com website, which was basically doing nothing. Dabdula8 has joined. You're here to hear some voiceover, aren't you? And I'm going to get started on that very shortly. But there's always this sort of welcoming that I do. And not a big group today. So, but that's okay. I continue to do this regardless of whether or not there's a big group, because either it catches on or it doesn't. But these things go for a while, you know. Though some of you invest a lot of time in sitting with me on this, which is great, which I assume that either means that you're just fascinated with someone else doing what they love to do, or maybe you're actually interested in maybe doing voice work and would like to know how I get these jobs and all of that. So I've been talking about it now the past few days when I've done these, that I get this work from Fiverr. There is something of an art to getting well paid at Fiverr, and it's one of the things that I love to share with people. And I will be doing what's the criteria of good voiceovers? Being able to communicate the message of the script. That's a great question, because it's not necessarily about having a great voice. Voiceovers I do, yes, they want a particular type of voice. They want this smooth, sort of professional, whatever. But voiceovers in general, it's open up for interpretation. So, I mean, certainly you've heard commercials, you've heard TV commercials, you've seen all kinds of stuff where the voices itself aren't that great. I mean, they're unique. They have character. They're interesting, but the actors who do it, what's the oddest job I ever had? Wow, I have to think about that one. I've had a few weird ones here on Fiverr. Donna Designs has joined us. Donna Designs has joined. Every Donna Designs is. Come on, I can't hear you. All right, well, we'll work on that. We'll work on that in practice. Deep voice is good. I have the deep voice, but not everybody wants the deep voice. I was telling a story yesterday about when I first. Hey, Vegas, baby. When I first got into voice work professionally, I had a hard time getting jobs because my voice was too polished. It was too, announcery or whatever. And they wanted a character. They wanted it to be conversational. And I'm like, well, this is my conversational voice, because this is actually how I talk. So, I had trouble doing that. But the nice thing about Fiverr is that there's so much work to be had out there that regardless of your voice or your approach or whatever your interest is, whatever direction you want to take with voiceover, you can find the gigs out there. And the beautiful part is that you don't have to audition. They just show up, So the basic thing about Fiverr is, and I'm going to do a whole series of scopes on this. I know I keep saying that, but it is going to take a little bit of planning and scheduling, because I want it to be at a regular time. And I'm also going to be more regular with the law of attraction type of things, because I know a lot of people know who I am because of The Secret and all of that. How to get sales on Fiverr. Okay, I'm going to talk about all of that stuff when I do the official Fiverr scopes. And every now and then, as I'm doing my voiceover here, I'll make a comment and give you a little tip here and there. But I want to do something that's actually very structured. And but what I'm hoping is that time I will when I know I'm ready to do it, I want to build it up a little bit because I so appreciate the six of you who are here. But if I'm going to put the effort into that, I want a bigger group. I want to gather some people who are truly interested in generating a revenue stream, doing something that they love creatively, and why I believe that Fiverr is an amazing way to get started doing that, and that it can lead to other things. And that most importantly, that everybody understands that it is not just about $5 per job. So if you, I don't know what all of you are up to, but if you have followings of people who might be interested in learning, I don't know, might be interested in the voiceover thing, or might be interested in just learning how to generate some revenue, or just watching, I don't know. But if you feel like it's appropriate to share this scope with people, I invite you to do that. But don't feel obligated, because you don't want to be sharing stuff with your people that you don't think they'd be interested in, because then they'll stop following you they'll stop taking your recommendations. So I am sensitive to that. And also, I'll say this about the hearts again. I want you to, I love hearts, because who doesn't love hearts and acknowledgement? But I don't just want them for the sake of giving them, just because I'm begging for them. Thank you. I appreciate that. I saw that you shared it on Twitter. That's fantastic. By the way, all my scopes, all of them, are archived automatically with catch.me. If you don't know about catch.me, it's katch.me, and you can go and sign up for that. And then every one of your periscopes, you can set it so that it will automatically archive them, so they're not gone in 24 hours, and then you can point people there or whatever. I have it set up so that when I do a scope, it sends to my Twitter. It automatically, let me put it this way. I'm set up so that when I do a scope, catch.me automatically posts to my Twitter feed that there's a replay of my scope. Okay, well, I don't want you to leave either, Noel, but you can catch the replay. Then I've got a system where it looks for the hashtag #catch for catch me, and then it automatically posts to my Facebook group. And I can actually have it go a zillion other places too. So it's a way to repurpose your scope, that it's not just gone 24 hours later and all of that. I got lots of strategies around there. How to develop a deep voice? Well, clearly a lot of that is genetic, but I will say this, that I did do a lot of training as a teenager, early teenager, when I knew I wanted to do this. I started just picking up, anything, and started reading out loud. I said this yesterday, but my dad was in broadcasting, and I just knew I wanted to do what he did. So I started reading scripts myself and just kind of trying to get that announcer voice. I used to have, hey, Ms. K, nice to have you here. I used to have a higher and very sort of countrified voice. I grew up in Atlanta, Georgia, and I was there my whole life. So I actually started intentionally training that accent out and working. And I really feel that since I have been doing voiceover more regularly on Fiverr, that my voice has gotten better, it's gotten more resonant, and even a little deeper. I think just because I've been using it in a trained way, very intentionally, and the variety of the scripts that I get sometimes call for, a deep voice like this, something powerful, something epic. So I'm working on that voice, the range, so it's fun. So let's just kind of get into this. The thing about Fiverr gigs is they range from very short to some. Just got that weird glitch again on my phone. I'm hoping that you're still there. Maybe also you have Scorpio intents in your chart. I don't know anything about any of that conversation. Okay, so yes, short, long, and what I try to do on Fiverr, on Periscope, is I try to get the short ones done first, so you can get a variety, see how I do it, and all of that. And what I share with you on Fiverr is the recording and the editing of these things, so that I don't know what the teary face looks like. Is that laughing to tears because something's funny, or you're sad that you don't have a deep voice, or I just don't know. Anyway, so you see the whole process of me recording it, editing it, and delivering it. You don't see my Fiverr screen right now. I've got two monitors working, and so I'm looking straight ahead at the Fiverr screen. That's where I read the scripts, and then my editing screen is right behind my phone here, and I flip the phone so you can see the editing process and what I do. So and I know I say this every time, but as I record the scripts, if I make a mistake, I clap like that, which creates a spike in this waveform that's created as I'm recording. And then I can easily go back and find where I made a mistake and quickly edit it out. The whole thing about Fiverr is you want this. Hey, Julie Wickstrom, it's nice to have you here. Let's learn a little bit about Julie and her nice lavender color. Oh, God, I did it again. I blocked her by accident. Stop. How can I undo this? View profile. Can I unblock? Unblock. Whew. Wow. I am so sorry, Julie. I hope you're still here or we'll come back. That was a complete accident. I did the same thing yesterday to somebody. I don't like where that block button is. I've now blocked 2 people in 2 days that innocently came to the thing, and I totally screwed up, and I feel terrible. Yuck! Who knows? She could have been the conduit to thousands and thousands of followers, and I pushed the freaking block button. Unbelievable. All right, so we're going to start out with a job that is actually due here in about 5 hours. And hey, can trim or can't rim? Let's find out and not block them. View profile. Christine Antrim. Okay. So see Antrim, and she has provided no profile description at this time, so all we know is that she has blonde hair and a smile. But we'll see how she develops her profile over time. All right, enough of the banter. She's a singer, been on over 4,000 records, and would love to do voiceovers. All right, well, good. Have you checked into Fiverr yet? By the way, if people have not heard of Fiverr and they hear me say it, they try to go to fiver.com. It's actually 2 R's at the end. But what I'd recommend is just go to bobdoylevoice.com. That will take you to my Fiverr page, and you can see exactly how I've set it up. And there are reasons why I have things exactly how they are and why my descriptions are the way they are based on experience. So if you're interested in voiceover at all, go check it out. I done a video, can check my voice. Can you rephrase the question? I'd like to answer it, but I just didn't get it. Yeah, so you can see how I do my voiceover thing, and then you can check out how other voiceover people do it. There's lots of people doing voiceover, so yeah, there's a lot of quote-unquote competition, but the thing is, you'll find your audience, you'll find the people who like you, and so I have like regulars who come back all the time. So this first job would be a $5 job, which means, okay, live stream video, I'm getting there, but I still don't know the context of the question. And forgive me, the others are probably going, what? He's asked it very clearly, but sometimes it's hard to multitask and read and do the whole thing. You did a live stream about old jewelry, okay. You follow Lynn. I follow Lynn too, almost all the time, around the house. You know, what are you doing now? 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 She loves that. Okay, so anyway, hey Melanie, you still here? Are you feeling cheered up yet? Because we're working on it really hard. Okay. So this particular job is a prime example of how they're not just $5 jobs. Now this, for me, and you get to define this as a Fiverr seller, for me as a voiceover person, when I first started doing it, 1 gig, meaning $5, I would read 200 words of a script. Then I made it 100, then I made it 75, and just a couple of weeks ago or last week I made it 50 because I was getting so busy. So you have that ability to kind of give yourself a raise. Now I wouldn't have done that if I wasn't so totally busy and, you know, figured that I would still have the work coming in because you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot. But at the same time, this is a part-time endeavor for me. I mean, my real job / career or whatever is teaching the law of attraction and doing the work around that, right? So I started doing this for fun, and it is fun, and it's a passion of mine, and it's turned into an actual very significant revenue stream over the course of time. And now's a fantastic time for voiceover artists to get into it because there's all kinds of ways to up your money. So here's a simple example. This job is going to take me, like I'd be done with it 6 times by now if I hadn't been talking to you. It's actually 2 lines. It's for a phone message system. It would be a $5 job normally, but they want it in 24 hours, which is a $10 law of attraction. I tell you what, go to boundlessliving.com. If you go to boundlessliving.com, you'll learn about me. You can download a free meditation. You can read all kinds of stuff about me. It also has links to my more law of attraction related YouTube page. So there is so much free stuff from me on the law of attraction that you can get to from boundlessliving.com. Boundlessliving.com. And if you want to get a taste for, like there is a free meditation there. There's a blue button, and you can get the meditation and all of that. All right. Can't see the. Well, I can't type it in, but maybe somebody else could. Just boundlessliving.com. Okay. So let me just do this. So what I do first is I go over here to, just real quick, thank you very much, I appreciate that. The editing software, the recording and editing software I use, it's called Adobe Audition. Same people who put out Photoshop and that suite of programs. And when I record something, it looks like this. And so after I'm finished recording, I'll switch over to the screen, and then you can see how I do the editing process. But for you, watch me read this one line. So I'm going to create a new file over here. Just call it, what is the name of this company? APS Realty. APS Realty. And then I just record it. Thank you for calling APS Realty Group. Our team will be right on the line. This call may be recorded for training purposes. All right, so right there, that's it. That's the job done, pretty much. And $15. So what did that take me? 7 seconds. It's a pretty good hourly rate when you extrapolate it, right? So that's what I'm saying. $5 jobs, it sounds like not a lot, but when you add on little things, that's it. So now let me flip this over. So here's what I end up with. I didn't make any mistakes, so there's no claps or anything. I run a little filter on it to take out any sort of background noise. That took about a second. And then I run another little thing, process called normalize, which takes it down to sort of an industry standard in terms of volume. And then I just save it out as an MP3 file in this case. Right now my hard drive is, my external hard drive is waking up, so it takes a second for it to do that. And then I go over to the Fiverr screen and I click a little button that says deliver your order, at which point I just upload the order to them. And I send a little note that basically says, hey, you know, it's done, and if you like it, I'd really appreciate it if you would accept and rate it. And then, because when they close it out, that's when the money becomes basically available. Like the job is closed, and it shows, it ups the tally of how much you've earned that month. So I'm now attaching it. I'll show you this. I don't know. You know what? Let me just, real quick, I'll just show you this screen. So I know this isn't quite centered, but I just upload a work like this, and then there's something called quick responses, which basically I just click that, and then 2 paragraphs of responses in there. Thanks, Bob. I'll say, oh, I missed that. I basically deliver it, and I'm done, and I can go on to the next job. And they all come up in a list over here. Oh, that's right. I turned the screen around. All right, so let me just go on to the next one. And so that's how I work this. I just kind of go through the list, unless there's a really big one. Now, this is a $50 job, which is kind of long. So let me just skip. I mean, I'm going to do all of these on the scope, but I want to knock out the shorter ones first, just so that you guys have the variety and I can show you something. So here's a $10 one. And healthcare agency in Wisconsin, recorded greeting after hours. So this is another phone message thing. These I love because they're just really, really super easy. I've never had one that's really given me a lot of trouble. What is going on? Where is... All right, so here we go. So this is called Home Healthcare Services. So I just create a file. Home Healthcare. And here we go. Thank you for calling Home Care Health Services and Hospice, the leader in home health services since 1974. We're sorry we missed you, but your call is very important to us. If your call is of an urgent nature, please press 0 at any time or stay on the line to reach one of our after-hours staff, as our office is currently closed. If your call is not urgent, please call back during our normal business hours from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Thank you for calling Home Health Care Services and Hospice, and have a great day. All right. Set. And now I'm just the same process, taking out the space at the front and the back, running the filter that cleans it up, does the whole normalize. Some of you already know this process by heart. Save as, MP3, boom. Switch back over here, click deliver, upload work, click the file, do the automatic drop-down thing, I forgot to close, deliver, and that was $10. So that's it. So that was $10 because it was, I guess, a little over 50 words, but they didn't need it in 24 hours, but since I'm right here, I just do it. Yes, and I do use my body language. I do a lot of this stuff when I'm doing it. You have to. You kind of have to. Lynn Rose has joined, everyone. Please follow her if you're not, because she's much more interesting than I am and a lot easier on the eyes. Although I wear baseball caps because of her. I never wore hats before her. So actually, there's a lot in my life that was never there before Lynn Rose came into it. All right, let's move on to the next one here, and this is another $10 one. And if you were here the other day, I actually did 2 jobs for these guys while I was doing the scope. Is there a buzz on the line? That's a bummer. I thought I heard a little something. You know what? I upped the volume too. I've just turned it down a little bit. Let's see if that helps. Is it bad? Is it a bad buzz? Because I hear a little something that normally isn't there, but it's really bad. Wow. Okay, hold on a sec. So that's normal. That's without being plugged out. Try to. Even though I unplugged it, it was there. If it's there when I unplug it, I don't have any idea because there's no reason. Oh shoot! Hold on, my tripod's falling. No, I don't think so. But let me go back and just make sure that it's not on my recordings. 4. We're sorry we missed you, but your call is very important to us. No, it's okay. It's all good in here. So where are we now? Are we better? It's better. Well, I know it's better unplugged. Well, that's no good though. I can't do it unplugged. I can try something real quick. Hold on 1 second. I hope this doesn't screw things up, but we'll see. All right, number 1, can you hear me? Yes or no? Can you hear me? I've got this big headphones mute thing on my screen right now. You can hear me? Is the buzz still there? You're not hearing bad buzz. What the heck? Well, I've never had this problem before during this. How about that? Is that any better? Is it too quiet? Now you can't hear me? Why is this headphone mute button up? That's weird. Right, I shouldn't obsess over this. I know I unplugged this, but I mean, I do hear what you're talking about, and I don't know why it's there. It's not normally there, and it's not making it to the recording. So let me just kind of continue. If it's really, really bad and you have to drop off, that's fine. And God, I don't really know why this headphone mute button is sitting here on my screen blocking my view. All right, anyway, we digress. I'm going to get back to the task at hand here. This is a company called Allied. I know it was better when it was unplugged, but how much this recording machine are you using? Well, I'm using a lot of things. I'm using a computer. You can't hear me. All right. I'm sure that made it worse. Checking volumes over here. Nothing's changed. This is the way I do it every day. But no, so I'm using a computer. I'm using a mixing board. I mean, I don't know. It's lots of different things that go into this. If this headphones mute thing doesn't go away, how can I get rid of that? It's just sitting there on the screen. Keep voiceovers going. All right, nope. The wires are how they always have been. All right, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going because holding the thing. But the only other option is to shut everything off and start all over again. So we just call this my first official voiceover glitch. All right. Now you got me all sweaty because I'm all. Hey, ṭaoᗰe. Is that how we say your name? But the buzz is still there. Eric, of course, Eric. Right. I got to remember. Why not unplug? Well, because if I unplug, then you can't. When I'm doing the editing process, you can't hear any of it because it's all in my headphones. So it's just silent when I'm doing the editing, as opposed to being able to watch what I'm doing. So I don't know what to say. Normally, when I unplug the little recording device and plug it back in, that fixes any hum stuff. I'm just looking around to see what could be causing this interference, but I'm going to lose people like crazy. Put the phone in the socks. Put the phone in the socks. I wonder. I don't know. I just don't know what's going on, and we can't waste any more time. If it's really, really bad, on the recording, then I just won't post it. It won't be part of my archives. But let me just kind of get back to work here and see what's happening. This is for a company called Allied Steel, and I did 2 of these for them the other day. We completed one, and then before the whole scope was over, I got another job from them. So here we go. I'm going to mark the beginning because I've been talking and this has been recording. Your experts and suppliers of carbon steel plate and metal fabrication, Allied Steel of New Jersey provides contractors the most accurate, finished, cut-to-size structural steel products for all industries for over 45 years. With state-of-the-art fabrication processing equipment, plate fabrication is completed by our fabrication professionals to your exact specifications and dimensions. If it's made of metal, Allied offers full fabrication and assembly of quality metal products. Allied's production plate fabrication and connection plate fabrication, no, I don't like the way they write their scripts, but Allied's production plate fabrication and connection plate fabrication. Perfect. I lost the end of fabrication. Allied's production. All right. I'm all about this buzz now. It's driving me crazy. Allied's production plate fabrication. Sorry, I got to get out of my head. I wish this buzz thing wasn't happening, but I've got to get out of my head. Allied's production plate fabrication and connection plate fabrication. Perfect for the demand of higher piece quantities for both construction and manufacturing needs. Allied's fleet of trucks assures that your finished products are delivered directly to your job site. That's probably not what they want. Allied's fleet of trucks assures that your finished products are delivered directly to your job site, on time and to your specs. Never any worries. Allied guarantees on-time delivery. Contact Allied Steel of New Jersey now. Call one of our specialists at 973-824-7347. Send an email with your requirements to sales@alliedsteel.com or visit our website, www.alliedsteel.com. All right, so a few, and you will see how I deal with those. So this is me talking to you at the beginning. Oh, I'm still recording. So I look for the spikes in the waveform, which are here. Boy, I actually made it difficult for myself because the volume's up because I was messing with the mic. Allied's production plate fabric to understand why we were getting buzz. Allied's production plate. All right, so see, I look for the clap, and then I go back to where that mistake was. And it looks like I started talking here too. I got to lower my mic level. Allied's production. See, I feel like I'm bombing. This is like one of those things where you feel like you're on stage and you're bombing. I'm all about this buzz now. It's driving me. Allied's production. All right. Allied's production plate fabrication. Sorry, I got to get out of my head. I wish this buzz thing wasn't happening. See, if I unplugged the phone, are delivered directly to your. And if I unplugged, then you wouldn't hear all that incredible self-deprecating banter. Allied's fleet of trucks. Let's see, where are the Yep. So Allied's fleet of trucks is probably here. Allied's fleet of yep. Get that out. And this is me talking, I think, at the end. All right, so yes. So that's it for the editing process. I'm going to lower my mic volume, figure out what the heck is going on. I wonder if I've got you plugged into the wrong thing. I don't know. Anyway. So I do the same thing. I run my background noise dealio and my volume dealio and save as. I'm really bummed about the buzz. I guess you already know that. Oh wait, I've done a million Allied Steel, so I need to differentiate this and call this carbon steel plate, whatever, just so that they know it's a different one. Carbon steel. That's what it's called. Carbon steel. Save. It's done. Deliver. Upload. Let's see. What is the username on Fiverr? Boundless. So if you go to bobdoylevoice.com, it'll go right to my page. Just bobdoylevoice.com redirects to my Fiverr page. Can anyone send? Can anyone send what? Can anyone send jobs? Can anyone do voiceover there? Because the answer is yes to both. Anybody can set up a profile page for free on Fiverr and get started doing whatever it is they love to do. And if you're not a voiceover person and you're still looking for username, Boundless. Boundless. If you're not a voiceover person but you're a creative in some other way, you will find that just about anything and everything is offered on Fiverr as your username. It's BOUNDLESS. So just go to bobdoylevoice.com and you'll go right there and you'll see. Okay, so here is another one. This is a $25 job. Here's a new version for this. We recorded a month ago. Essentially only for previous order. Remember, style of reading. So this is helpful. So what they've sent me is I did a job for them before. Oh, I see. I did a job for them before. They want me to redo it, so they're sending me a reference of what I did before. So every year, the world consumes about 50 million tons of motor and industrial oils. Belarus consumes 130,000 tons of them. Okay, they did something to my voice. That is not... I mean, that's my voice, but they did something to it. They did a little... They lowered it or something. That's just... Europe and the United States recycling up to 75% of waste oils. Weird. That's weird. Never heard anybody do that before. But you've heard it here now, folks. Buzz and all. God, I do hear that buzz. That's crazy. What is going on? Why? Because I just upped my volume on my headphones. And I'm trying to think of why that would be happening all of a sudden. I'm going to try one more thing, guys. I'm going to unplug this box one more time. I'm going to let it sit unplugged for just a second, so just bear with me. It's still there. I don't know. I don't know what changed. So, sorry about that. The only other thing I could do is maybe reboot my computer, and obviously I'd have to end the cast for that. It's not getting on the recording, and even if it was, that little filter that I run for noise reduction gets rid of all that buzz stuff. But this is, yeah, not too happy about this, but what are you going to do? All right. Every year. All right. DVCH. We make the world a cleaner place. All right, let's try it, shall we? DVCH. But then I'm going to figure out what the heck is going on with this. Oh, wait. Did that help? That helped, didn't it? It went away, didn't it? The buzz went away, didn't it? It did. It's because I was charging my phone while I was doing this, and that's the first time I've done that. All right, so we solved this together as a team. Thank you. See, that'll never happen again. And you stuck with me. Well, 4 of you did. Everybody else said, I am so out of here with that buzz. I'm not listening to that nonsense anymore. I came here for voiceover work. I didn't want my ears cleaned by electronical noises. That's how I figure you all talk. Well, not you. The people who left. They all talk like that. All right, now I can go with confidence forward with this particular project, where they changed my voice later. I got to listen to it one more time, not to hear it change, but just to remind myself of the read. While in Belarus, boy, that's really loud. I got to turn that down right now. Even 10% is not recycled. All right, I get it. Here we go. Where's the script? Where's the script? Belarus. All right, here we go. This time, I'm going to show the 4 of you the screen of the editing software as it's being recorded so you can see what happens there. Oops. No, I moved this. Hold on. Record. And check, checkity check. Up this a little bit. Every year, the countries of the world consume 50 million tons of motor oil and... No, they already... Country of the world consumer. See, there's already a typo 4 words into the script. That's not a good sign. If I run into too much more of these, I'm going to have to send it back to them to fix. Every year, the countries of the world consume 50 million tons of motor and industrial oils. Belarus accounts for 130,000 tons of demand, approximately 0.3% of global demand. Europe and the United States recycle up to 75% of their waste oil, while Belarus recycles less than 10% of its waste oil. The remaining 90%, The remaining 90% is incinerated or otherwise disposed of or reused, often through unauthorized means. The Republic of Belarus is losing millions of dollars that she would otherwise recapture by implementing proper recycling methods. Burning the oil releases carcinogens into the atmosphere, creating risks of cancer. European Union and United States law prohibit burning waste oil, and violation is a criminal offense. European Union and United States law prohibit burning waste oil, and violation is a criminal offense. A liter of waste oil poured into the soil contaminates 100... A liter of waste oil poured into the soil... It's a rhyme, ladies and gentlemen. A liter of waste oil poured into the soil contaminates 100 to 1,000 tons of groundwater. Belarus-based DVCH Management provides a modern, high-technology solution to this problem on the basis of direct foreign investment. DVCH Management has built a unique system for processing motor oils in an environmentally friendly way. We collect waste oil in containers located across the country and ship it via special tanker first for laboratory analysis. We then ship the usable waste oil to our plant, where it is processed and transformed into our final product, clean, usable oil. Waste oil recycling provides an ecologically friendly and profitable solution to Belarus. Recycling will help reduce reliance on imports and will have a positive impact on the environment. DVCH, we make the world a cleaner place. Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, sorry, I forgot this is the editing phase. Is this the beginning? Every year, the countries of the world... Yes. All right. Boy, I really lost a lot of you on the buzz thing, but at least now I know. The remaining 90% is... The remaining 90%... Sorry. Otherwise disposed... often through unauthorized. So we find often through. See how quick? After a while, you get to kind of just look at these waveforms and go, okay, that's where I screwed up. I can see it because it looks at European Union, like right there. See, burning the oil releases carcinogens into the atmosphere, creating risks of cancer. I think I did that one again. I did. All right. And European Union. All right. A liter of waste oil. A liter of waste oil poured into the soil. It's a rhyme, ladies and gentlemen. See, I even remembered where. Okay. Where I made my little joke. I think that's it through there. Yep. Trim. You guys who are, I'll bet you're all on the web. Let's see. No live viewers. Oh, wait, we have Kate and Christine. Thank you, guys. And then the other two are on the web. Well, I appreciate you hanging in there, especially with all the little technical issues. I really, really appreciate that. So clean this up like normal. I feel so much better knowing what that buzz was about. Golly, man. It was driving me nuts, as you know. I still have to go back and look at the first part of the scope. Wow, that one took a lot of breath. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm telling this was some of these. I've had some that are medical and technical in nature, or I have a big thing in my gig description that basically says English only, and that's because the time it takes. Hold on, let me flip around here. The time it takes to learn the pronunciations of some of these names or things like that, it just makes it's not practical for a fiber job anymore, but every now and then they send them anyway. And so I have to, say, okay, we'll spell this out phonetically or whatever. But sometimes if I've got a script with a lot of that in there, it can just take forever when it doesn't, it doesn't need to, or it shouldn't normally. So let me just call this DBCH2, save this, and deliver it real quick. Actually, I only have a few more, guys, and girls. Actually, it's mostly girls. Oops. Sorry. I'm going to walk at it. I'm going to walk off this scope, and it's going to be like, it's going to be that feeling like I was a comedian, and I went up on stage and bombed. That's what it's going to feel like. I'm going to have to regroup after this because of this, which I know is silly. So you don't need to tell me that because I know it is. But lo and behold, that is how it is. Let's see. I think I got one more here that, let's see how long this one is. $5 job. Wow, a lot of little short ones. Hardly ever do that. Although, gun show spot and your voice at gun show. It's funny. Thank you, Jenny. I appreciate that. Appreciate that very much. I'm not worried about the timing on this, so please read it at a pace that feels comfortable to you. The only pronunciation will be the city name, Yakima, and he's got an MP3. This is great when they do this. Like I was just talking about pronunciation, and they send, if they send an audio file with them pronouncing it, then I know. So, for example, Yakima. So now I know Yakima. And let's see how long this script is, because when it's a $5 script of 50 words and they send an attachment, sometimes it's like that they didn't get the 50 words thing, and they send one, like, for example, this looks good. Yakima. All right, here we go. Yakima Gun Show. Big Top Promotions presents the new Yakima Gun Show, coming this weekend to the Yakima. Should it be Yakima or Yakima? Yakima. Should I say Ma? Let's listen one more time to his pronunciation. I just want to make sure I got it. Because, $5 jobs, whatever. You don't want to have to redo those because of a pronunciation. Let's listen.
Yakima.
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 Yakima. All right, I'll say Yakima. All right, one more time. Big Top Promotions presents the new Yakima Gun Show, coming this weekend to the Yakima Convention Center. Thousands of guns, knives, and accessories. Buy, sell, trade. Antique, collectible, military, modern, competition, sporting. Something for everyone. This Saturday and Sunday at the Yakima Convention Center. And that's it. So in that case, they didn't give me a particular read. They didn't say, hey, I want it big or energetic, but it's a gun show, and there's some things that you can just sort of infer in terms of a read. Sometimes I'm wrong, and they come back and they say, no, that's not what we're looking for, but that's just part of the game. That's part of the game. And the way that I do revisions and things like that with Fiverr is that if I screw up or if they need a different read, what happens if they tell me I wanted a different read? I'll write back. Thank you, Jenny. I'll write back and say, hey, in the future, if you've got a specific read in mind, it'd be great if you submitted that with the order so that we don't waste any time or whatever. So I give them that one revision. If they change their script, then they have to buy another gig for the amount of change that needs to be done. So if it's like a line that needs to be changed and the line's like 15 lines, they got to buy at least one gig for me to fix it, because I tell them very clearly in the description, and when I do my Fiverr series about how to do Fiverr, I will talk about the importance of making sure that your gig description is very specific as to what is setting the expectations for the buyers. Because if you're not totally specific, they will ask you to do things that you don't do, and so you got to kind of do a preemptive strike on some of that. And that you learn from experience, and that's why I'm saying if you want to do voice stuff, you could use mine as a model. But whatever you're up to, you can look at other people doing it on Fiverr, see how they do it, what their gig descriptions are. You find the people really interesting. I'm glad that you're interested. That's really all I want, is for people to be interested. Look at look for the top sellers, the people who are top rated. Hey, kids, you're back. She's back. Thank you for coming back. Okay, so what was I saying? Yeah, you want to look at what other people are doing to give you ideas of how to write your description. I personally learned just recently. I went around and looked at some of the voiceover people and what they are doing in terms of gig extras and stuff. Like, how can I make more money per gig? And I got some great ideas from these people. Like, sometimes they'll send me a job that they want multiple files saved. Like, let's say it's a phone system and there's like an outgoing message, the main message, departments, after hours, different messages. And they want different files saved out. Well, it takes a little extra time to save out different files. But I never charged for that. But then I saw some other voiceover guy doing that, and I thought, that's a great idea. So now it's like, if I have to save, for every 3 files separate I have to save, that's another gig, another $5. And, people are fine with that. And it's just ways that say, how can I creatively make a little bit more money on this gig? Not to rip people off, but like really assess, well, what is the work that I do here? And where do I go a little above and beyond? And how can I charge for that? Oh, you dropped off by accident. Okay, so you never really left. You accidentally left and then came back, and that's why we still have 4. All right, so let me see. Now, I got a message, so let me just see what the message is, because a lot of times, here's the script. So this is here's a good one. Let me just make sure. Check this out. So they're sending me these scripts, and they're long. Like, one is 1,854 words, another's 3,400, and another one's 15. I mean, this is going to be a multi-$100 job. So I'm not going to do this one on on Periscope. But it says at the end, like, however, I must warn you, this training will make some of you feel a little uncomfortable. Oh, I see. I'm sorry. This is a different script. I thought they were saying to me that by reading this, I was going to be uncomfortable. I'll have to come back to this. This is a more complicated message. So the last job I have here, hold on. Do I need to do this? So yesterday, I'm just going to be transparent with you. This makes sense. Yesterday I did one for somebody. It was a 1-line deal. I'll play it for you real quick. CV Media would like to thank Herman Miller for allowing us to present our full menu of services to you. All right, so anyway, I did that. It was 1 line, and I delivered it. And they gave me a good rating rather than outstanding. Now, they didn't come back and ask for a revision. They didn't say, hey, could you do it like this? They didn't do whatever. So if I don't get a 5-star rating, which is what I get 99.9% of the time, I'm like, okay, well, what happened? What expectation did I not meet? And so I'll ask them, well, what could I have done? I didn't, I felt like I delivered it quickly. I felt, so here's what I did. Here's my understanding of it. Where did I fall short? So far, every single time I've done that, they've come back and said, it was a mistake. I just clicked it. I didn't know it was a mistake. How can I fix it? But I still ask, because obviously I want my record to be good. I mean, it is still 100% positive. I've done thousands of jobs on here now. But if somebody didn't give me 5 stars, I'm like, I want to know why. And I think that's good. Good to know, because maybe I need to adjust an expectation or something. But in most cases with me, it's just they made a mistake. All right, so now this last one, I will go ahead and do on the Periscope. It's a $50 Qbot casual voice, which is believable. Okay, kind of honest voice, and they don't even know what that means, but I do. So it's not going to be too I'm not going to be too announcery. I'm going to try and be casual, friendly, connect without it won't quite be this voice here. It'll be something a little more casual. And you'll see what I'm talking about because I'm about to do it right now. So it's really not that long of a script. But hold on. I need to increase the font size because I cannot see it. All right, let's see how I do on this one. SEO, I'm going to call it that. As you notice, thank you. I'm glad that you're enjoying this, Jenny. As you notice, I never read the scripts first. I kind of just read them cold. And 99.999% of the time, that's totally fine. But sometimes it's like I'll get through a line and go, oh, okay, wait, that's not how. And you've seen me do that. Like I start to read and I go, oh, wait, that's not how to inflect this word, and I go back. So that might happen here. So we shall see. In today's day and age, SEO can be summed up into just one thing: top quality content. First things first, high quality content is, and always will be, the successful formula for ranking high in search engines. As search engines get smarter by the day, only the content that is useful to your visitor and gives them additional value will be given priority. Secondly, SEO isn't just about finding those short and highly competitive keywords. A strategy focused on long-tail keywords can generate a massive amount of traffic over a short period of time. This is why blogging is considered the #1 method for inbound marketing. Blogging sure is great, but it's not humanly possible to cover every topic of your business with it. Think about it. What happens to all those queries and topics that fall between the gaps? What happens to the huge amount of traffic that you couldn't tap? Now, wouldn't it be great if you could combine the power of quality content targeting long-tail keywords with the ability to cover massive topics? A perfect example of such a strategy can be seen with sites like Yahoo Answers or Quora, where a massive amount of traffic is generated with quality content focusing on long-tail keywords. The question is, how can you use this strategy on your website? The answer to that is QBot. QBot is a feature-intensive plugin that harnesses the same power as QBot is a feature-intensive plugin that harnesses the same power as websites like Quora and Yahoo Answers. But how will QBot help your business in inbound marketing? Let's take an example of Judy, who sells her digital course on learning Photoshop. Judy is really bored with writing long posts on her blog. She thinks that there has to be a better way to answer the minor and major questions that her audience is searching for on the internet. She comes across QBot and installs it on her website. Judy begins with posting questions herself, the questions that troubled her when she was a student herself. From simple questions like, how do I choose colors in design, to major things like, what steps should I take to learn Photoshop? Judy then writes down the answers to these questions. I'm going way down too low. Judy then writes down the answers to these questions, finding it more interesting to answer problems than to write a blog. Wait a minute. See, this is a weird sentence. Judy then writes down the answers to these questions, finding it more interesting to answer problems than write. I see. Judy then writes down the answers to these. I'm slurring those words together. Judy then writes down the answers to these questions, finding it more interesting to answer problems than write a blog post just for the sake of writing it. As her posts start getting picked up by search engines, more people start visiting her page looking for answers. Some ask more questions, and others even pool in with their own responses. Before you know it, the website is filled with tons of valuable content which Judy never could have written on her own. So how did all this help Judy? With her website now covering so many topics with good content, search engines began to give her website priority over her competition. With thousands of laser-targeted visitors coming on her site every day, Judy could sit back and watch the sales of her digital course grow. Like Judy, QBot can be used for the organic growth of any business online. All you need to do is ask a question. QBot, the question and answer plugin. So that's that. So we'll see if that was casual enough for them, because I can cash it down a little bit more. Oh, Toastmasters. Yes, well, good. Yeah, I think, do you have an interest in doing voice, like the clap idea? Yeah, it's imperative. QBot is when I first started this stuff, instead of clapping, I would just leave like this long space so I could find it in the waveform. And it's like, that was a terrible idea because Judy then writes. Sometimes there's just long spaces in the script. Judy then writes. So the clap is a foolproof way to find an error. So let's see what happened here. Hold on, we'll flip it around. Judy then writes down. Judy then writes down. Okay. Wait a minute. What happened? Yeah, I think. Make sure. Judy then writes down the answers to these questions. All right, that's when I was pondering how to read that. Then writing a blog post. Then write a blog. See, it's right in the middle of the sentence. Cutting into the middle of a sentence like that is not always easy, and you can't always. Search engines began to give her website. Search engines have begun. Search engine competition. And with thousands of laser-targeted visitors
Lynn
coming on her
Rose
site every day, and Cody the dog. Lean in here and say hello, Lynn.
Hi.
To all four of them.
To all four?
Yeah, well, I think the buzz
Because of the
lost.
buzz?
I lost a lot, but I figured it out. You know, I figured out what the problem was.
Across wires?
No, I was charging the phone at the same time. No, it's very easy to cut and paste. It's a couple, select Control-C, Control-V. That's it. It's really super simple. And, of course, I've been using this software since version 1, and it wasn't even called Audition. It wasn't owned by Adobe. So I've had years and years with this software, and they've only made it better and easier.
Hi.
I'm all sweaty. That's love right here, ladies and gentlemen. This is the hottest room in the house because I have to keep the doors closed. I have to keep the windows closed. Is it hard to find the exact
So
spot?
cool. You guys are enjoying it and watching and loving it.
It's not hard to find once you've with practice. Like I said, after a while, I liken it to if you saw the movie The Matrix. There's this part where Joe Pantaleone's character is sitting in this little area and he's looking at all the screens with all the numbers raining down, and he's telling Neo he doesn't even see the numbers anymore. What he sees is woman in a red dress, car, whatever. Like he sees it. And so with these waveforms, after a while, you start to just kind of see the patterns and the shapes of the words. Like I know what the word "and" looks like. I mean, it's kind of crazy. So that does speed up the process, and that's just practice and experience in doing it. So let me just save this out real quick. And this Qbot, I'm interested in that. I think that's a pretty, like every now and then I do these spots for software or a program or something that I'm literally very interested in. And I've reached out to them and say, hey man, I want to know more about this. And I've had people send me access to things and, for free. So that's really cool. And yeah, because I'm really trying to get more up to speed on my SEO. Anyway, so something like that would be cool. So I'm assuming it's a WordPress plugin. They didn't say that, but anyway, I might explore that. All right, Lynn and Cody are leaving, so let's hear it for them. Thank you for the visit. Huh? Well, yeah, Cody likes to hang. Yeah. All right, and I think so. Now let me just deliver this because I'm going to get scattered and forget to deliver it. And that, I believe, my friends, unless somebody has added a job that I have sent a quote on earlier, is it for the morning. So I usually do. Let me see. Yeah, I'm done. I missed what you said was hard. I missed what you said. If you can repeat it. Anyway, so yeah, that's it. So I do this first round with you guys in the morning, and then obviously more stuff comes in throughout the day. But I always like to get this stuff knocked out, and then once I get my plate cleared of the voice work. Oh, you recorded the Book of Psalms. Oh, yeah, long form stuff like that. The tough part about that is keeping your energy consistent throughout. I mean, I've done lots of jobs that are very, very long, and I like to just do them all in one sitting, because if you do a little bit here and then come back to it later, almost 100% of the time your voice is going to sound a little bit different. You're going to be a little bit, the distance to the mic is going to be different. There's just stuff that's different. So I just like to do it all in one sitting, no matter how long it takes. But you start out enthusiastic, and then you're about 3/4 of the way, and you realize your energy's dropped. And I can even see it on the waveform, like the volume. You see the volume diminish as you go. Have you ever recorded a book? Melanie Bundock is here. I'm going to talk to you in just a second. I have done books. I think I've done my own book years ago, but not somebody else's. Even in Fiverr, see what happens is people send you a book, and it's like 40 to 80,000 words, and they think what they want is a deal. They want you to do it at some really super deep discount because there's so many words. But the problem is, if I'm doing a $40,000 job at some sort of discount, then I'm not able to take full price jobs that I can turn around like that. So it doesn't make sense to do a big discount. Um, you need help tapping? I can help you too. It's one of the things I love about Melanie is that she's a proponent of EFT, which is one of my favorite release techniques too. And it's big in all of the stuff we do. I introduced EFT into the program, into our programs, I think around 2005, after people were urging me to do it, and I had resisted it because I was like, what is this, or whatever. But then I dug into the science of it and all that, like I did with the law of attraction, and said, okay, well, this is cool. And then I just really, what it takes is just trying it. Um, I'm sure Melanie can help you. I've dealt with so many people who have not had success with EFT. Let me tell you the two things in my experience that keep people from having success with EFT. And I may come up with a third. First of all, you're not tapping on the core issue. A lot of times we tap around it. DLG parties. Wow, it's been a long time since I've seen your face pop up here. We think we know what our issue is, but it's actually something deeper. So we're tapping on surface issues, and if we're not getting to the core, then we're not experiencing the big shift. And sometimes that's what the value of having a coach or a practitioner who can reflect back, because we think we know. Yeah, Brad Yates is the one who actually got me to do EFT for the first time. I'd heard about it from various places. Brad was the one who said something along the lines of, well, have you actually tried it? I said, no. So, yeah, Brad is right there at the – so Brad Yates and Carol Look, they're my big EFT sort of mentors in my life, and I do have lots of interviews with both of them in my programs because I think they're both great. And they both approach it very differently. There's so many different styles to EFT, but making sure that you're tapping on the actual issue, that's one thing. The other thing is a lot of times people don't – so I do have three. They don't take the time to do that check-in like, well, what's my intensity level now? They just start, and then sometimes the shift, yeah, you do have to find the core actual issue. You can tap your way down to it, but if you're inexperienced, it's such an intuitive thing. The more you do it, the more you the more you get to feel what releasing feels like. You get to know yourself a little bit more. Your intuition opens up, and you can just sort of guide yourself through it better. But when you're first starting, it helps a lot having people from the outside to guide you. And that's why I think, in our program, I have hours of tapping sessions with Carol and Brad. And I think the best way to learn is to hear other people who really know how to do it. You hear how they navigate, and hearing how they work with other people. You hear how they dig. Fiverr, Fiverr, or go to bobdoylevoice.com. That'll take you right to my page within Fiverr. I don't muscle test myself. I have the jury's out on muscle testing for me. I mean, I know the concept and I know the theory, but I don't know. I think I'm just too in my head about it. But in terms of like what I was getting at with EFT, you gotta check in and say, is it a 1 to 10? Because sometimes the shift is so subtle that you'll think nothing happened. But if you were to really rate it on a scale from 1 to 10, well, maybe it did go from a 9 to an 8. And if it did that, then you keep going. That's the third thing I was going to say, is people stop too soon. It is a game of persistence sometimes. And so you just keep going. But I'll tell you what, one of the things you need to tap on is this idea that you can't do it, or that it's not working for you. Because this is a conversation you're having with yourself, and you're just completely confirming it over and over. So if you go into an EFT session with this belief like, well, here we go, it hasn't worked for me so far, it may not work this time, guess what, right? So anyone can work with you on this who's got some experience on this. You've been telling yourself you can do it for years. So yeah, it would be an interesting conversation, Jenny, to have with you, to whether it me or Melanie or whomever, about what we think is. BobDoyle@me.com is the best way to reach me via email, and you're all welcome to contact me about any of this stuff. Yeah, I love helping people get unstuck with EFT, because I do believe that it can work for absolutely everybody, but I do believe that people have the experience of it not working. And so far, I think I've been able to help everybody get some progress on that. But anyway, the other thing, what I was going to say about Melanie. Yes, Melanie. So Sarah Ballard popped up on my scope the other day, and I couldn't remember where I had heard her name, but it was you. That's one thing. And And yeah, if you guys haven't checked out Melanie, go do that. I checked out her, like I had seen her scopes a couple of times, and I've talked about this before. She's just got this wonderful energy. She knows what she's talking about. You know, she's just really good. And her manifestation story, she's an excellent manifester. She has amazing stories. So these are the types of people that you want to learn from, you know, who are putting this stuff to use and getting results and helping people with it. And she's just got a very, you know, it's not just a very natural, like just so easy to be with. And I went to her website, and it looks amazing. I was really, really like impressed with Melanie in general. So there's my unpaid advertisement for Melanie Bundock. Is it Bun or Boone? I don't know. I should listen. But I've been saying Bundock, so that's what I'm doing. We wanted to hire. We would go through Fiverr, but yeah, BobDoyleVoice.com takes you directly to my gig page. So if you wanted me to do a voiceover for you, that's where you would do it. Well, I know it's Bundock, but I can't. Is it Bun like hamburger bun? Doc? Bundock? That's all. I just want to be able to say your name correctly. But I know I could easily find it. I could probably find you on YouTube or watch a video or something. I just call you Melanie. Okay, so guys, thank you for hanging out. We did a little bit of everything, did we? Although we didn't do any ukulele. Not one. Burger bun. Got it. So just to recap, I will be starting, there's two different things I'm going to be starting here. One is regular law of attraction related scopes at a regular time on a regular day, or every day at a certain time, just to get some consistency there, to get some followers. And one of the things I'll be doing is I have boxes of The Secret. Well, yes, I do. I have lots of copies of The Secret, and I'm going to start trying to figure out ways to give them away signed, you know, which means I'll have to open them, take the DVD out, sign the DVD or the package, whatever you want me to do, and send those out. I've got those. I've got a couple of other little DVD things too. Just make the scopes fun and get you guys something. I haven't figured out how I'm going to do that yet, though. So that's that on the law of attraction stage, and because I'm getting ready to launch our coaching organization. I've been certifying coaches for the past 7 months or so. And we're getting ready to offer coaching again on a grand scale, and so be doing some things to introduce my coaches to you and all of that. You haven't read I actually haven't read the book. I have it obviously, but I haven't read it. The movie came first, and then the book came after that. So yeah. And then the other thing is the Fiverr series, not specifically voiceover, but just Fiverr in general, and helping people learn to get familiar with how Fiverr works and what the possibility is for themselves to put themselves out there and to generate a revenue stream. Even if it's just a few $100s a month, that can be a real game changer for people. I have shared, because I've just decided that if I'm going to do this, if I'm going to share my experience with Fiverr, that I have to be completely transparent, which means share all my numbers, what am I making, you know, all of that, because there's a part of me that says, well, you don't want to show them how much money you're making or whatever, because it's either going to, you know, sound like I'm boasting or, oh, is that all? You know, you never know. So I just feel I'm not going to worry about any of that. Just be totally open and say, here's what I'm doing to show you possibility. When I started, you know, it was like a couple $100 extra a month, and now last month it was $8,000. Yeah, doing this. And something I love. And so the point is that you've got that opportunity, and my goal is to get 5 figures. I want 10. That's my goal for this month. To do 5 figures on Fiverr, I think, is an eye-opener for people, that anyone can do that on Fiverr, because they've all got this impression that it's a $5 at a time, and people who could be killing it aren't even considering it because they think it's $5 and that it's a waste of time. Well, it depends on what you do. In terms of the equipment, the question is about, do you need all the equipment? I happen to have an audio studio because, I do a lot of, didn't see the movie either. Well, I think you can actually see it on Netflix. From time to time, people throw it up on YouTube, so you can do a search there. I have the equipment, but I will also say that you could do it as simply with something in terms of voiceover. When I travel, I have a microphone that I travel with, and I just use my laptop. Same software and all of that. The sound is a little bit different because it's not going through a board, but it's still good. And, so there's definitely ways to do the voiceover stuff on the cheap, but you still want a good microphone and a way to dampen the sound. I do run these filters on them to give it that pro edge. But there's plenty of people who are doing stuff on Fiverr who are not doing all of that in terms of voiceover. Like I said, wide range of skills and things like that and styles on Fiverr for just about anything. I mean, Fiverr is about way more than voiceover. I mean, there's logo, anything creative. You just got to go check it out. So you could start with bobdoylevoice.com. That'll land you into Fiverr on my page, and then from there you can just poke around and see the different kind of categories of things that people do. And I guarantee you, there's something in there that you can do and throw yourself out there into the marketplace. And then the purpose of my Fiverr series would be to say, okay, so how are we going to maximize this? How do you write your description so that you get sales or use the right keywords? How can you promote this out there? And I'll say that what I've done on Fiverr in terms of success and money, I've never done anything to promote myself outside of Fiverr. I mean, this is like the first time I've ever even talked about it with people. I've just stayed inside Fiverr. I don't post it on Facebook or anything like that I do it. And there was a reason for that, because originally we thought it might hurt my Law of Attraction brand, like confuse people. Why is he working on Fiverr if he's this abundance guy? And what I want to communicate is because there's a lot of abundance there, and I'm doing what I love, which is key. It's part of my core message is that, to attract abundance into your life, you want to be loving what you do. You want to be, have the energy of passion in what you do. And I've been teaching the law of attraction for 12 plus years, and although I still have a passion for it, it's not the same level of energy, because it's been 12 years, and there's been all sorts of little things in the background. Alex Karras is back, ladies and gentlemen. I say back because he was on the Fun with Bob and Lynn cast last night. If you haven't checked it out, if you don't know, I also do these little scopes with Lynn Rose, at Lynn Rose, my partner in life in crime without the crime, and they're silly. And they're fun. And we did one last night. And you can actually, so I archive all of my scopes at bobdoyleshow.com. They're also on my Facebook feed and all that other stuff. But if you go to bobdoyleshow.com, you'll see all my past scopes, whether it's with Lynn, whether it's this, whether it's Law of Attraction, whether it's me walking the dog, whatever. They're all there. Yeah, Fun with Bob and Lynn, that was too late for you. Yeah, we normally do that in the evening as a sort of an unwind for the day. And so we did that last night. There's music and singing and laughter, and it's just, it's just our way of having a ton of fun. And Alex was on last night, and that was awesome to have him in the group. So I guess what I was getting at was I have no idea. The Fiverr series is coming, and it'll be generic, and I will try to do enough promotion around it before it actually kicks off so that people know where and when to be there, because I don't want to just do it for 7 people. I want to do it for, as many people as I can get into the room. You are more than welcome, Alex. But honestly, I got to get more followers. I haven't really been doing the things that you got to do to get more followers. Lynn is way better than that. She's very consistent with her scopes. She knows how to engage the people to say, hey, follow or share or do that, click this. I don't do that stuff. I guess I need to. But one of the things about Fiverr Periscope that was stopping me from doing it was all the have tos. Well, here's what you need to do. And I was like, no, for me, Periscope is just all about fun, and I don't want the rules. But at the same time, there's got to be some sort of give and take. If I really want to get followers, I got to do the things that have followers show up. Am I right or am I right? Okay, so that's it. So that's coming. The Fiverr series is coming. The Law of Attraction series is coming. I'll continue to do the scopes probably every day, if not, every few days, and we'll just see how that interest grows too. Lynn can see your way to get started. Lynn can see your way to get started. Do more LOA tips, and you will gain a ton of followers. Yeah, okay. Well, that's what I'll do then. But I would just want to kind of make it a regular thing, like at noon every day at Pacific time or whatever. I want to come on and do LOA tips, probably have a topic, and then take questions for a while. And then, yes, build up the followers and all of that. And I just haven't been intentional about that. It's been, honestly, because since the Law of Attraction is like it takes up so much. Hey, Melanie Dulg is back. Takes up so much of my day, it's nice to go to Periscope and do something different. AOL tips. Yes, AOL tip is get off of AOL and get a real internet service provider. But LOA tips, that's something else. All right, you guys, thank you so much. And I always hate ending these things, but I'm in Marina Del Rey, California, where it's been fairly warm. And like I was saying before, this room right here is the hottest room in the house because I have to close all the doors and all the windows for noise. and there's no circulation. There's all this equipment, and I'm just basking in heat. I walk out of this room, and it's like, it's like walking into a different season. But anyway, all right, everyone, thank you so much. If you're so inclined to share this or whatever you want to do with this, I appreciate it. And as soon as I know what's happening with my law of attraction tips, I just need to make a decision. Like, this is going to be when I do it. Same with the Fiverr thing. I will try to figure out how to propagate that word out there and get that going so that you will all know and that you can share. Yeah, I'm leaving. I've been doing this. I don't know how long we've been going, but a while. Yeah, it is hot here in Southern California. It's a lot different than normal. Even in the marina where it's normally cooler. Green-eyed Andy, I swear I was just about to hit the stop button, and then you show up. I'm waiting for you to do a scope. When are you going to do a scope? That's what I want to know. Before I stop this, I want to know when Andy is doing a scope where we can talk about beer. Come on. I'm not leaving until you tell me. You did one last night. Well, wait a minute. I know I'm following you. Well, what time last night? What time zone are you in? Because maybe it was like past my bedtime or whatever. All right, but I see. There's 4 recent ones. So good. I'll look at your recent ones. I'll catch up. All right. That's the deal I'm going to make. Because Green-Eyed Andy and we got some stuff in common according to her profile, and I want to hear what she has to say about it. And if you do one tonight, and if I'm around, I will be on there. But what is tonight? What time zone are you in, Andy? I'm in Pacific. So depends on what time. Oh, you're Eastern. Wow. Okay. So that what am I whining about? If you do one at midnight, it should be 9 p.m. Maybe you went on when Lynn and I were doing ours last night. I don't know. But anyway, I missed it. But I am following you. Okay, everyone. I'm really going to press the stop button now. If you're interested, you can watch the replay if you came in late. But what I was doing was voiceover. And then we talked a little LOA. And then Lynn and Cody made an appearance. That's just sort of a recap. All right. I'll probably do some sort of scope later today, although I say that all the time, and sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. My guess is Lynn and I might do something later. And that sound means that someone sent me a Facebook message. So I'm going to go tend to that. Go eat chicken wings. Okay, that sounds great. All right, everyone. We will talk very, very